ACCN. Good morning. I've been taking a long time making these videos, so I'm going to start out with blockchain, explaining blockchain in regards to cryptocurrency. Basically, a blockchain is a chain of blocks that hold information, and in each chain, the block holds more and more information as it goes. So right now, most people think about or know about blockchain because of Bitcoin. The blockchain on Bitcoin allows the currency to be tracked in an expeditious manner, and it stays on the same circuit. So a lot of people don't understand exactly what blockchain is. What I'm probably going to do is put some type of video on the link so that it'll explain it to you a little bit better. But basically, blockchain works to the extent that it continually gives information that can be verified with different computers over a certain, very short period of time. So that if you do a transaction or a ledger, because ledgers are what's kept on blockchains, it can verify the ledger over and over and over again on a consistent basis so that it would know exactly what type of information went out, what type of information came in, and what have you. So if you do a transaction, let's say you buy some Bitcoin, you buy the Bitcoin on the blockchain, the transaction is recorded forever. There's no taking it off. It will always be there so that once you make the purchase, it can calculate how much coins were taken from one place to another. It doesn't necessarily track you. It just keeps the information. The reason why it doesn't track you is because, you can be tracked. Let me rephrase that. But and as I tell you these things, there's no order in how I say it, or there's no logic. I hope you can get something from it. But basically what it does is it puts everything on a ledger, and you can verify what is being done on the ledger. You can't write anything extra on the ledger. You can't manipulate it, because on this ledger, there are computers, peer-to-peer computers that take information in and verify information. So you can put information on one computer, it would send the information out to all the computers. All the computers would verify the information, and it would be put into the blockchain, and it would be recorded there from then on. And to take it off would take a lot. So in essence, what you're doing is you're making the recording on a ledger. You're recording the ledger transaction and keeping it forever. And you're building upon that ledger with computers on a peer-to-peer basis, so that if one computer lies about something or it's changed, it has to verify all the information from other computers. So in essence, on a blockchain, it's just basically verifying information that's put on it and not being able to change the information from the past or what have you. And this is applicable in everything. You can verify pharmacy information. You can verify house deeds, contracts. You can verify taxes. You can verify what your pastor is doing with his money as far as the building fund is concerned. Countries can verify information on other countries, and they don't have to worry about it being fudged on the ledger. Governments can verify banks. Banks can verify governments. It's just basically puts everything on the up and up for public information, or as far as the public is concerned. And that brings me to the main interest of understanding how blockchains work and understanding Bitcoin. Bitcoin was made by an individual that decided that he wanted to be anonymous, named is a Satoshi Nakamoto. And what he did was he took the blockchain and he put currency on the blockchain so that you could use the currency within the blockchain to make transactions, and all your transactions would be recorded. So there would be no guesswork. Let's say you know how you go to the bank, and when you go to the bank, when you go out to shop, and you make a transaction, and you don't like the transaction, you go back and you got to wait 3 to 5 business days before the transaction clears into your bank account again. You don't have to do that with blockchain because it's already there. The verification is already there. It doesn't take forever to do it. And here is why banks don't like that. Banks don't want you to be able to verify it because there's certain ways that they could get your money that you would never know. There'll be certain reasons why they can charge you fees and what have you. So with blockchain, everything is so much faster. Everything is verifiable. And nothing can be tainted to the extent that a government can write money and do whatever they want with the money, could dilute your money, cause inflation. It's counterproductive. We're continually losing the value of our money. The United States dollar is considered the benchmark for the world right now. However, we keep printing money. When the Obama Bush era came and they had money problems, they solved the problem by writing more money instead of just, hunkering down and figuring out how to balance the budget and not spending any more money. They just printed more money so that we feel good. Now the market's up like 27,000. That's ridiculous. So it's just a matter of time before it goes back down again. With blockchain, you can't do all that. You can't print money that's not there because there is a fixed amount of money that is on the chain. The only thing you can do is divide the money up that's within the chain. And for Satoshi Nakamoto, he put 21 million, I think it is, 21 million coins on the blockchain. Each coin now is worth $11,000. So you can do the math on that. And as time progresses, it's going to go up even more because right now, Bitcoin is number 8 on world currency. In other words, the US dollar is number 1. England's probably number 2. Germany 3, Japan 4, so on and so forth. All these countries have these currencies that are, have a hierarchy of how they work. Bitcoin started out in 2009 at zero, worth nothing, and each coin is worth $8,000, and it has nowhere else to go but up. Because people see the value of it. People see that they can purchase with Bitcoin, unflawed, unmolested. They don't have to wait for it to go through the clearinghouse. You can send money across the world to someone else as long as they're on the Bitcoin blockchain. You can send money to them immediately. You don't have to go to Western Union. You don't have to go to, what's the other one? MoneyGram. You don't have to send money through and pay these crazy amount of fees. You just send the money through Bitcoin. And if you want to change the money to fiat money, and then fiat money is the money that you hold in your hands, like the dollar, the yen, the euro, stuff that they can freely print. If you want to still continue to use fiat, you can do that. Or you can stay within the blockchain if someone else is trading on the blockchain. And a lot of people have problems with, well, what if the money is imaginary and you can't touch it? But realistically, the money that you get from the government is money that they print. The only thing that holds you or bonds you to that money is that you actually can physically hold it. But it's really not worth what you think it's worth, because ever since the gold currency, these are things that I need to talk about. The Gold Standard Act has been enacted where the money no longer has to be backed by gold. It gives the government the opportunity to print money any way it sees fit. And it also not just messes up the country, because the dollar is used everywhere. It messes up the world economy based on what we're doing. So we're not just messing up ourselves. We're being careless and messing up everyone else. And everyone else is getting tired of it. And because they're getting tired of it, it's going to change. Now, what's it going to change to? It's not going to change to another fiat money. It's not going to change to, well, we're going to switch from the dollar to the euro, or we're going to switch from the dollar to the yen or the francs. We're going to switch from the dollar to cryptocurrency. And there are so many different types of cryptocurrencies on so many different blockchains. But right now, the gold standard for us now, and probably will be for a long time, is Bitcoin. There are other currencies that I like to invest in. I'll say right now, I like XRP because it's where the banks are going to try to counter Bitcoin, which means that they're going to pump a lot of money into it. Eventually, it's going to be a good investment. And right now, it's pretty cheap. I like Cardano because Cardano because they seem to be, goal driven as far as helping, I don't even like to say undeveloped worlds, countries, develop and be part of mainstream, but that's what they're doing. And that's where I'm more interested in helping Africa, Latin America, some of it, a lot of Asia, people that don't have the same opportunities that we have, and they should. They're no different than us. And we always talk about all the different infringements on rights in this country, but we don't have our stuff together. How can we expect other people to have their stuff together? And if other people don't have their stuff together, then how can we expect to make any progress? Everybody has to make progress together. And as long as we're under the boot of the bank or the governments, we'll always have a problem. With blockchain, you almost cannot have any type of fraudulent behavior because everything is verified. You'll have computers over nodes over in Asia, nodes in Africa. All these nodes are peer-to-peer and they all verify information. So if anybody tries to change the information, it's changed. You know how we look at WikiLeaks, we'll look at Google, and they literally only give you the information that they want you to see. However, they don't. They change it to propagandize whatever they want to do, whatever the governments want them to do, what have you. I apologize for this thing shaking. I don't have a stand yet. With blockchain, you can't do that. The news is the news, and the news is developed upon accordingly in a chain of events. So like a chain of evidence that can't be manipulated because blockchains are on closed circuits. If you can understand closed circuit TV, like if there was a robbery at a store, if the police would run around and try to find video of the robbery, you wouldn't have to worry about the video being manipulated by the internet or what have you, if the video is the video. I don't know if that's a good analogy, but ultimately, a blockchain it basically can be unmanipulated. I mean, I'm not saying that it can't, but the likelihood of it is unlikely because everybody has the information and all the information has to be verified. I think depending on the blockchain, 50% of the people have to verify the same information. And if it's not verifiable, it's thrown off the blockchain. So you're talking about pharmaceuticals, people can put information up about fighting cancer and it can't be changed. And you don't have to worry about having information withheld based on the profit. Once the information is there, anybody in the world can get the information off the blockchain and expand upon it. And put more information up, and those people can expand. And it's based on not withholding information based on a profit. You can't do that anymore. And that's the only way this world is going to make any progress, is because once we start sharing information, just like you've seen on the internet, we've made so much progress because we've been able to, change things and share information, but we've also been able to withhold it on the internet. So therefore, we don't make the progress we should. But once you put stuff up on a blockchain, it's up there. So I'm going to leave it like that. I suggest people start first understanding the concept of blockchain and what it can do and how it can work for you. And hopefully I can get a little bit better at doing these videos and have some type of agenda that I go down. But I just wanted to at least get something out here and get started in regards to how blockchains work, what you should be fixating your sights on as far as learning before you start learning about cryptocurrency and how to invest in it and why it's a good idea to invest now. And one of the only advantages of being an American in this country is the fact that you have access to blockchains. You have access to cryptocurrencies that other people in this world are not privy to yet. And for that reason, you should learn about this and take advantage of it so that you'll be ready to spread the information and allow other people to learn from you to build your legacy on, because you are in a position to learn about this and take full advantage of the investment opportunities. I have a lot of people that say, well, I don't want to be bothered with that. I don't understand it, but you don't have a choice. It's here. Blockchain is here. Cryptocurrency is here. Fiat money, Like I said, fiat money is just physical money that governments use and print at will. It's on the way out. Pretty soon you won't be able to use fiat money. Matter of fact, right now, you hold a lot less cash than you used to. You used to have nothing but cash in your pocket. I would venture to say that most people that are looking at this video very rarely have a lot of cash in their pocket. Some of you do. Some of you are kicking and screaming, but most of you use credit cards, you use Apple Pay, use Cash App, you use PayPal, all different ways you do it. You know, you use your debit card, you use your credit cards, all these different ways that you go about, you know, your daily routine as far as transactions are concerned. So that's about to change for the better. And you, me, everybody else needs to get on board so that we can make this better for everybody. I hope this video does you well. I hope you're having a good day. ACCO.